I am Marwan Cameron, and this is the Conduit. All right, y'all. It is Friday, August 6th. We are back. BACK. We're back. It's August 6th, y'all. It's Friday. Man, so much has been going on. There's so much to catch you up on. As you can see, first and foremost, man, we have been busy at work. This is the new studio, y'all. We have been busy trying to update and upgrade and provide you with a better experience as the podcast grows. And so, there is a lot to do when it comes to that. So let me make sure that I'm doing good right here. Make sure I'm live. All right. Looking pretty good there. So we're good. We're good. Okay. Let me give you a little tour of the studio so you can kind of see what it looks like now. Behind me, you'll see we have our monitor. So as we do things and bring you content, sometimes I will show videos either on the screen behind me or I'll just go ahead and just put them up on the screen. Also, you'll get an idea of what I'm looking at now, right? So a lot going on now. Our studio has grown. As you know, we had a really powerful podcast over at the Marvin Williams Center with myself, Karen Vargas, Deborah Jackson, Christina Rourke, which was awesome. And that was centered around landlords. And we had attendees from Bremerton Housing Authority, the county, and also Kitsap, KCR. So now we will be doing these rather large podcasts twice a month now. Okay, so man, like I said, so much has changed over the last 2 or 3 weeks or so. As you know, I went out of town to spend some time with my niece who graduated, got back from that, and as a few of you know, was memorializing my father. And it's grant season. There's all kinds of stuff going on right now. Of course, there's drama going on in Kitsap County that I'm involved with, and G2 is involved with, and trying to advocate for folks that are not in a good place. And so, like as I said, there's quite a bit going on, and so it's time for us to, kick this thing into the next gear. So we are always working. Uh, the the rumors of my demise are definitely untrue. I am here and ready to go, reloaded, as they may say, and loaded for bear. So we are coming. As I said before, I told you that power is taken, it's not given, and we are here in 21, 22, and beyond to take power, right? To take what is rightfully ours, to advocate for those that can't advocate for themselves, and also definitely to advocate for ourselves, right? So that is what we will be doing. We will be jumping into the fray. If those of you that may have thought we have been on the sidelines, we have just decided to try to do the work and support people in the way that we can, in the best way that we can. But now it's time to kind of jump in and be the shield and the sword for folks that are unable to fight, right? And so that is what we're going to do. And you'll hear folks say that they're unapologetic and whatever they're chasing after, or whatever they're trying to champion, and that's where we're at right now, right? So we will not be deterred, and we will continue to push, and that is the plan. So again, wanted to share with you what is coming up. As you know, the basketball tournament was supposed to take place last week. It got moved, which is why you haven't heard anything about the basketball tournament. So let me go ahead and show you this there. The basketball tournament is still on. It is still on. It is not too late. to sign up. So it is August 14th and August 15th. Actually, pretty good days. My oldest daughter's birthday and my father's birthday, August 14th and August 15th. Registration fee is $25, but there are several scholarships for you to get in. It is 13 and over. Okay. There will be plenty of prizes, vendors there. Also, Kids at Public Health will be in attendance. So if you want to get vaccinated or if you want to get more information, you can do that. As you know, the Delta variant is just sweeping the nation and really the world, and it's causing concern. Folks are, having to start to remask out in the community. So we hear a lot of rumors of what's going to happen and how things are getting a lot more difficult. So what I would say is, definitely, investigate. If you haven't, thank you, Bridget. Shout out there to Bridget. If you haven't been vaccinated, look into it. Come on down. If you need a ride, give us a call. We'll go ahead and provide a ride to you because that is what we do. So just give us a call, 360-373-3000. Bridget, since you're watching, what do you think of the new studio? Since you were in the studio before it changed over, as I was saying, I am constantly going and busy. There is no time to rest. But yeah, what do you think? East Bremerton Community Gym is where the tournament is. 2810 Spruce Avenue, right next to SARS grocery store, is where the event will be. Again, 13 and up. Even if you don't plan on playing in the 3-on-3 or the 1-on-1 tournament, there will be plenty of things for you to do there. There will still be prizes for you. There will be food, all kinds of good stuff. So come on down and support. Come on down, have a good time. Again, shout out to AJ. This was his idea. He's been on the podcast before, 15-year-old high schooler out of CK High School that wanted to do something for kids and adults to kind of get back to being together and having a good time. So this tournament is taking place because a 15-year-old wanted to do something good for the community. And G2 said, okay, we'll try to help make this happen. And here we go. So it is here. It is next Saturday and Sunday. You can pick up your all your information on Friday as you register. The website is there. There's contact information. If you do have any questions, please do reach out once you link in with the website. ksptournament.com is where you go to get all the information that you need. So this should be a good time. Definitely looking forward to it. I believe right now the weather looks good. Thank you. Say it looks really nice. So that's awesome. Yeah, we worked really hard on this. Man, so much has been going on, as you know. So trying to memorialize my father and get the studio together and try to take some time. Man, it's been a bit much, but there's a little bit more to do in the studio. There's actually 2 more cameras, so we will be able to switch from different cameras here, and so we're learning how to use our new equipment and get that going. We look forward to the conversations that we're going to have, and I'll tell you right now, you're going to want to tune in on Monday, 6 p.m. I will be broadcasting every single day up through Monday to that podcast. That podcast is going to talk about the issues that are going on in the community and really directly related to Kitsap Community Resources. So if you have any stories or challenges that you've had with Kitsap Community Resources, with KCR, we want to hear them. And either you can call into the show, you can come down and appear on the show. Just please reach out because it is time that we have some conversations and we start to process and work through the issues that are happening in our community. For too long, there has been a power base that has existed and people do not appear to be accountable to anything or anyone in the community. And so we need to have this conversation, right? We need to have the tough conversation. We got to find a way forward after that, and we need to implement change. And so again, as I said before, power is taken, it is not given, and we are here to take power and have things go in the way that they should go. We know that nothing is perfect, that there is no panacea that will cure all the ills of the world, but we can do better, right? We can do better. We must do better. Uh, there is a phrase that is going around. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. Winter is coming, and that is from Game of Thrones, as you know. And winter is coming, and I don't really mean when I say that winter is coming this fall and this winter, but I really mean beyond that. Okay, as just consider this. I've had these conversations with you on several occasions, right? Right now the moratorium has been extended. Evictions have been going on all during COVID. They will continue to go on during COVID, and this is putting stress and strain on tenants and landlords alike, right? And what it's doing is really helping to continue to erode the relationship between tenants and landlords, right? And as we stay in the space where we have this Delta variant that is kind of racing out of control, we hope that this thing won't mutate, but we don't know what's going to happen. And we know that there will be another pandemic at some point in time. So we're going to have to deal with that, right? We had the bird flu, and some other things a few years past. So I mean, this is what it is now, right? And this is a worldwide pandemic that we've got to deal with, and folks aren't taking it seriously. And we have what we have, right? We don't know if this thing mutates, and right now people are getting more sick; they're not dying at the same rates, but hospitalizations are up. And if hospitals are full and you break your leg, or if you have other kind of medical emergency and the hospitals are full and they're at capacity or beyond, that's going to have an effect on you, right? So even if it's not COVID that affects you directly, it's still going to affect you indirectly. So you've got that, right? You've got the relationship with the landlords. You have housing prices that are out of control. You have folks that haven't been able to pay their rent. So you have bad credit. You have folks that jobs are going away due to automation and technology. Companies are finding that they can downsize, they can do more with less, that people can remote work, right? They have Zoom and everything else. And people are actually more productive that way. So what you're going to find is that a lot more people are going to be looking for work, a livable wage, and that wage isn't going to be there for them. So what are we going to do, right? We have outsourcing of our not only our manufacturing but even our service sector, right? So we have India and China and other places that are call centers and things like that as they have been outsourced. And we had call centers right here in Kitsap County that are now gone, right? So you have that. Do you make three times the rent? How much is the rent? We've got a carrier that is here now, right? So we've got thousands of more people that are here in this county. So what are people going to do? Winter is coming, right? We are coming toward the tail end of summer. We're getting ready to head into the fall. We definitely will have a flu season this year. We're going to have a flu season with the coronavirus, right? So we're going to have both things happening simultaneously, which is going to cause some challenges. And we don't know what that's going to do, right? You have folks that want to be able to not wear a mask and go and do the things that they want to do. You have folks that, will wear a mask, right? We don't really want to go backwards, so we want to fight that. We have holidays that are coming up. So it's really going to be a stressful time. But beyond that, right, again, that moratorium is going to wear off, right? That winter time is going to come. These evictions are going to continue to happen. The relationship between landlord and tenant has been strained and can become, unrepairable, right? And so when it's over, it's like, hey, man, you owed all this money and it's an issue. Uh, Whether I understand your situation or not, I'm going to evict you and put someone in here that can pay, right? And there are going to be people that can pay, and you're going to see displacement, right? We've seen that with the Midway Inn and the rescue mission, right? Where you actually have, an agency that, houses or stores, you know, um, homeless folks, displaced people that are actually in housing, right? So you're going to see more of this, right? But it's going to be even worse. And so if you are not financially fit, if you don't have reserves, If you don't have a support network, I talk about this over and over again. You must have a circle of support, right? That is critical, and a circle of influence. If you do not have it, you must start creating and cultivating that now. Who are you going to lean on? Who is going to help you to get through? What are the resources that you provide to someone else? Because it's not good enough for you to just get around a whole bunch of people and take. What do you give, right? As things get strained, we've got this infrastructure bill that is coming out. We need to work on our bridges and our fiber optics and just all kinds of things that need to be worked on. But you know how Congress is, right? Uh, you know, they're going to continue to fight and hold things up. Typically, we have midterm elections that are coming up next year, and usually what happens is the party in power loses some of their seats. I think that's very likely, and so as the seats change, and you'll see more conservative Republicans gain some advantage there, then they will become more fiscally conservative as they typically are, right? And so as they do that, and they cut off that spigot that is already, this isn't it's not like Biden is just pouring water out. But in comparison, I guess you could say, yeah, I guess that is what it is, but it's held up in all these different places, right? So there's these billions of dollars that no one can seem to get for whatever reason. But as the power shift happens, you're going to see that that water is going to dry up, right? Those resources are going to dry up, and then there will be a push to the election. And you saw how it was during this last election, right? Democrats decided to kind of take some from the Republican playbook, right? We're going to obstruct and delay and deny so that President Van Trump could look as bad as possible in order to bolster Biden. So if you don't think that's going to happen again, and you don't think Republicans are going to do that to Biden when it's time to run for president, you got another thing coming, right? You need to really pay attention to that. So for me, when I say winter is coming for a season. This may be 5, 6, 7, a decade of really hard living for a lot of Americans. And to me, the worst thing that could have happened, as I said before, is that we reopened so early and folks really had to stop and pay attention when there was nothing else to do, right? So right after George Floyd, the country was awake. They were paying attention. And to pacify and to put us back to sleep, the NFL came back and the NBA came back, and now we've got the Olympics and, on and on and on. And so everyone is looking back in their directions, and the constants are back and whatnot. And you see the uptick in violence, right? So if all these things are opening back up, shouldn't people be happy to engage with their sports teams and go to their concerts and socialize and interact with people in person? And in general, yeah, people are, but violence is up everywhere, across the country, and so that's a concern also. And as resources become more scarce, right, you're going to see violence continue to increase. So I think it's a really scary time. And I think there are a lot of people that are going to be caught unprepared, right? And while um, typically people can be empathetic and sympathetic to the plight that people go through, as more and more people suffer, as that person that has the nice size home that needs to downsize and put some of their things in storage, right? To the person that's got the smaller house that now has to move in with a family member, or their parents are moving in with a family member, where you see more people trying to do the roommate thing, where it goes down to folks that are getting evicted and really have nowhere else to go. They've been couch surfing for a while and now they're sleeping in their car. To the folks that have been in their car and now that's not viable and now they find themselves in emergency shelters, right? We really need to consider what that is going to look like. And You know, homelessness is definitely a politicized situation, right? Most people are somewhat caring, I would say, but they don't want to see it. And no one has a good answer to how to resolve it or solve it. Or to navigate it, right? You can't just throw money at it, which is what was done with the Midway Inn, and that was disastrous uh, and piss poor planning, to say the least. I just want you to think about it. Folks don't want to see the homeless. Folks are angry that the rescue mission has the building in Port Orchard and intends to move there, right? People want the homeless to get out of downtown Bremerton. Where do you want them to go? If you know anything about the homeless community here, there are a lot of homeless folks living in the woods. So right now we don't want to see it. Right now it's a blight on your property values. Right now it's a blight when you have to walk past it. It's a blight on our businesses. People don't want to see it. It can be dangerous. They're afraid of folks, right? So all these things. So push it out, push it out, push it away, push it out. We don't want to see it. But as that increases and more people that are housing insecure, that are living check to check, that are just hanging on, and no longer are protected by moratoriums, right? And that's for those that still haven't gone through, successfully been evicted, even through the moratorium, right? I'm working with several people who have been evicted through the moratorium. So there is no magic bullet, right? When you think about it, the moratorium was supposed to end. The only reason why it extended was because the Delta variant got a little bit out of control, right? I'll say a little bit. It got out of control. People were not ready. Landlords were ready to mass evict people, and that is still going on nationwide. But when the gloves are off and it's a free for all, where are all these people going to go? Who's going to rent to you when you haven't been able to pay your rent for several months? Who's going to rent to you if you haven't had a job in a while? Who's going to rent to you when there's 5 or 6 other people that have been able to pay their rent, that have been working, right? And again, no fault of your own. You don't want to get sick and die. You can't work in a public space because you might bring it home to an elderly person or someone who is sick, or you might have some autoimmune, as I do. What do you do? And when more and more people are affected by that, the resources have already been tapped out. We've already spent billions. We can't keep printing money. So we know that we're going to have inflation. We see the gas prices increasing. So we can watch and see these little pockets and signs of what's happening with our economy and what's happening with our resources. Winter is coming. Winter is here for a lot of people already. What are you going to do? And if you think that marching in the street is going to be effective, I really don't think it is. And I'll use George Floyd as our test case. So, yes, George Floyd was murdered, protest nationwide, hey, even worldwide. And it was a big thing for a little bit. But after a while, it fell away. And as I said, it was replaced by the distractions of the NBA, the distractions of the NFL, the distractions of the holidays, the distractions of, hey, man, I care about your situation, but I got to look out for me and my family. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, we start saying things like, well, you need to pull yourself up from your bootstraps, or I didn't do anything wrong, so I shouldn't be getting punished. And if you just worked harder, and well, you know what? They made their own choices. So you start hearing all these reasons why there's this justification on why you don't help this particular set of folks. Winter is coming. I do encourage you, get connected. If you don't feel like there's a space that you belong, create the space. We created G2. G2 didn't exist. It wasn't built on some model of something that already existed. It was unique, right? It's in the name, in the mission. Find unique solutions to help people on the path to self sufficiency. And what do when you try to create something? Well, you fund it out of your own pocket. That's what you do. At least that's what I did in my case. Because we can talk about what needs to change, or we can be the change. And that sounds so cliche. And I decided, along with a few other people, that we would be the change and that I would risk the safety and the security and some of maybe my daughter's security to try to change the environment, to try to change the community. Because complaining about it isn't going to do anything about it. So, what can you do? Whatever you do, it'll make a difference. Just start a little bit and it will grow and you will draw people to you and you'll gain momentum. You'll find those like minded people. That's why it's called Gather Together, Grow Together. We're not perfect, we're never going to be. But we're going to continue to try. Oh man, we're going to have some bad days. We'll have a bad showing. We're going to trip at the gate, at the gun. We'll take off running and trip and fall. Out the race. Disqualified. Jump the line before the gun. The difference is we're going to get up the next day and we're going to try again. I don't require perfection. I just require effort, authenticity, congruence, honesty, accountability. We can be so disillusioned. We have such myopic viewpoints, and all we see is what we see. We've got our horse blinders on. Our perspective is the only perspective. A lot of people that are living in their truth, but there are other truths out there, and you've got to exist in all the truths, not just your truth. And that's hard for people to hear. And I think it makes it even harder for people to navigate life in a way that doesn't cause unnecessary pitfalls and issues. Life is already hard. We don't have to make it any harder. A lot of times we get in our own way. I know I've gotten in my own way enough times. Winter's coming, folks. Create, cultivate your circle of influence and your circle of support. Continue to try to meet and work with at least 5 people, new people, every month. You know, it was just a month and a half ago that I met Deborah Jackson and Karen Vargas. Now, Deborah was telling me today about a story how she met me when I was teaching at the college. And I don't even remember that. But, you know, I've interacted with thousands of people while I was teaching at Olympic College. And I've been in circles with Karen Vargas. But, you know, nothing beyond superficial, hey, how you doing type things. So I really just met these ladies not even 60 days ago. And now we have expanded our relationship and have been able to do things because we're stronger together than we are separate. And it's not about trying to be the head. trying to control everything, but it's trying to find ways that we can come together and collaborate for the betterment of the people that we serve. And now we've got the first podcast that we did, I think now is over 1,000 views. And now we're going to do it twice a month. So again, shout out to those ladies. Uh, and I think I talked about the story before. I think we were all on having a conversation. Check out that podcast. You know, when we met, there was some contentiousness, right? There were assumptions. And so we had to navigate through that. And so when people come at you in a certain way right off the bat, you know, we tend to get defensive. And it's like, I don't know what your deal is, but hey, it ain't going down like that. And so if we operated in that way, we wouldn't have gotten anywhere. It would have just fizzled out right then and there. And the plan wasn't necessarily to come together and do something directive, but it was to come together and talk and meet and just see. And man, the things that can happen if you take a chance. If you give space to grow, if you give space for other people to be heard and for you to listen, not hear, not wait for your time to jump in and counter. It's like double dutch, right? The ropes are going and someone's talking and you're just waiting to jump in and counter their argument. I got you. All right, it's my turn. Okay, I hear what you say, but this. No, you didn't hear anything that I said because you're already speaking before I've even stopped. You haven't even digested it, processed it, acknowledged it, thought about it. Now, I don't agree with what you're saying just on its face, but let me step out, put myself in your situation and look at it from your lens and then analyze it from there. I might actually be able to see how you can see that. Typically, the best negotiations in business or the best negotiators are those that know their own interest and they know the party's interest that they're negotiating with. See, when we make everything a zero-sum game, typically we both lose. And even if you win that, you're only going to win for so long, but you're going to continue to destroy and erode your relationships. And people won't want to negotiate with you. People won't want to work with you. So what are their interests? When you know what their interests are, you already know what your interests are, right? But when you understand what their interests are, what their needs are, what their wants are, and then you can negotiate and think about how can we both get most of what we want. The things that we can do. The rational, logical mind is a blessed thing. It truly is. So embrace it. I look forward to our numbers growing. I look forward to our shows. I can't wait to see. There's so many different topics that have already been floated. It's like, okay, when are we going to get to this? When are we going to get to that one? So it is pretty crazy. So, you know, between these topics and having guests come on and having these conversations and actually hearing from the people, which is really important to me. Whether it's hearing from them themselves, which many people are very shy. Many people have never had a voice. So now when they have the voice, they're concerned, right? There are many people that want to speak out, but they're afraid of retaliation. So they may speak through us so that they can get their message out. But that's what the conduit is about, right? That two-way dialogue, that creating that space, getting away from the mainstream thought, that go along, get along mentality. As I said before, we are in the age of Malcolm. not Martin. So we will be unapologetic. We will be respectful, but we won't be disrespected. We're not going to be pushed around, sabotaged, lied on, character defamed. You can sing, you can try to shame, you can try to insult, you can have your need to be right, and you can try to guilt. As I said before, sorry, that shit don't work on me. So shame me, insult me, go on and be right, try to make me feel guilty. I grew through that 5 years ago. As I said before, the beautiful thing about starting this organization was one, it came from the Bank of Cameron. Two, our funding in our first few years, pretty much 95% came from the work that we did outside of this campus. It wasn't until this year and the end of last year that we started getting contracts and things with the county. And so when that is the case, then you're able to exist and help people at the best way that you can. So awesome. We just signed our MOU with Birmingham Housing Authority so we can do referrals. We're actually part of a network which is called Unite Us, so folks can come in and we can put them in a database, and that will send out referrals to other agencies, so there's connections there. And we just established a new relationship with the women's shelter where um, we don't have to send them somewhere else to get a referral to get into the shelter. We are the referral. I told you that we were coming. We're here. We're not going anywhere. The work that we need to do is hard and it's draining. And there may be times that we take a time out, but we won't be quitting. And when we go away for a little while, you'll see changes. You'll see updates and upgrades. If you can, it's probably hard for you to kind of see the other monitors here, but in the bottom left corner, that's the Daddy Daughter podcast with me and Layla, right? That's what the old studio looked like, right? Same room, whole different look. And again, we're not done yet. So it is coming. Marvin Williams, when I started this podcast, it was so interesting. My intention was really, because it was still COVID, right? Was just to give people the link, uh, let them, have the conversation the way we are now, and it would be great. Uh, and you just don't know how things are going to change, right? My thought when I first created it was really, to give, you know, people a voice, right? The folks that volunteer at G2, the people that we serve uh, at G2 or through G2, and have the commissioner on and folks running for judgeships and all types of folks, right? And hearing from people who are living in their car, being disenfranchised, that if people weren't advocating for them, They would be ran over and no one would know, like so many are it happens to every day. That is the purpose of the conduit. So it has to continue to thrive and serve us, the people, and it's important. And we're tremendously driven by that. Our food program is going well. We're still doing our deliveries. So, again, if you have children 18 or under that are attending the schools, eligible for free or reduced lunch, give us a call. We will actually deliver the meals to you. You can call and get details on the menu. I think today was barbecue pulled pork, uh, which is really good. I think there was also some kind of like a taco salad because we delivered two meals Thursday and Friday in the same delivery. So I mean, all this stuff is homemade and it's good stuff. So give us a call for sure. Let us do that. Again, if you need transportation, typically it's $15 in city, $20 from one city to another, and that's round trip. So let's try to make your dollars that are finite stretch longer. Concessions is going on right now. We're doing the Seattle Sounders. There was a game today, but we were actually so busy we couldn't do the game today, right? But I believe there's another game Saturday or Sunday. Again, we pay for your food handlers permit, we pay for your alcohol permit. We'll get you to the event, get you back home. You have a good time. The bus doesn't run on Sunday. There's not a whole lot happening in Kitsap County on the weekends. So, come and join us, help out a nonprofit to help and serve and help other people. That's how we are able to do the meager things that we are able to do in the community. Of course, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's either next week or the week after Seahawks preseason starts. So, yes, we are doing the Seahawks this year. I think Garth Brooks is coming here. I don't know if we're doing that concert or not. I kind of feel like we are. So again, if you've never been to a concert, you get to hear it, be in the stadium with all the just the craziness. So it's a fun time. It's good fun. It's a good team. A good way to keep yourself in a positive space, and you know that you're giving back. So give us a call. Again, 360-373-3000. And as I said before, the basketball tournament is coming up. It is August 14th and August 15th. It will start at 9 a.m. at the East Bremerton Community Gym at 2810 Spruce Avenue in Bremerton, 98310. You can register today. Okay. KSPtournament.com. $25 is the fee, but there are a bunch of scholarships, so please go ahead and log in if you need one of those. 3-on-3 and 1-on-1 basketball tournament, boys and girls, ages 13 and up. There are cash prizes. We'll have a lot of fun. There'll be a lot of food. There's going to be giveaways. There'll be some raffles. So come on out. Even if you don't want to play in the tournament, come on out. Again, you can receive the vaccine on those days also. So if you've been watching what's happening in the news and you're like, you know what? Yeah, it's time. Come on down. We can get you vaccinated. If you need a ride, give us a call. We will pick you up and take you home. If you're like, you know what? I just want to be able to talk to some people about the vaccine, talk to them about the Delta variant, and just need some more information, come on down. They'll be there to provide information to you. They're not going to pressure you. No one's going to try to bully you into getting vaccinated, but the information will be there for you so that you can make the best choice for yourself and your family. So I encourage you to come down. But it should be a lot of fun. So I can't wait. Super excited. I didn't want to stay on long. I'm doing really good. I'm going to work on that. Many of the podcasts like to 3 hours. And I'm like, all right, I got to do better. But it's already 1 a.m. and I got an interview with the Port Orchard newspaper in the morning. Then I've got a meeting at 10. I've got to address my meeting, my team at 11. I've got a business lunch at noon. I have business/friend lunch at noon. I have an awesome announcement based on that. After that lunch, I need to review one of our grants. Whew. And then I need to sign off on it and submit it. And then I need to apply for another grant. And somewhere in there, I think I need to sleep. I don't know when that's going to be. They say you sleep when you're dead. Well, hopefully I got a lot of life left in me because there's a lot to do. Take care of yourself. Take care of other people. Be better than you were today. I am Marlon Cameron, and this is the Conduit. I will see y'all tomorrow. All right now.